like RPGs. I know you like RPGs.
Love them.
I like RPGs.
You like RPGs. You don't
Yeah.
play a ton of RPGs though. Do you play Final Fantasy games and stuff?
I play Final Fantasy
Pokemon's an
games.
RPG, right?
It is. Absolutely counts.
And villages are great. There's like a lot of fun mobile games. There's one I really love. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's from the people who made Dev Story. You're like a little game developer. It's a mobile game where you like control game developers and you choose like who works on what. They made another one where you're literally the town. And like people just come into your town and buy stuff and then go back out and adventure, and like you don't control them, you just control like what shops you have and how much stuff costs, and you try to level people up.
Yeah.
So I think there's room forever to kind of shake up the concept of like traditional RPGs and how those work. And this game sounds exciting, Fantasy Life.
Yes.
But I'm super curious on exactly how it works. Like at face value, when I look at the commercial, it sounds like they're selling something different, but it just sounds like a traditional RPG. So how is this different from other RPGs?
It's an action RPG. How to explain it? It's Morrowind. You know the old school days when you're like on your Xbox and had the time to literally just hold the jump button and just jump forever, and then you just got better at jumping, and then you were the greatest at jumping and nothing else? Well, that is this game. It's a really old concept that people don't really use anymore. I think it's just a matter of maybe not having enough time, or maybe it's just sort of an archaic thing that people don't think about, but just being able to level up something by doing it. And this game definitely pushes that further with the level classes that you are. So the whole story is that you wake up and you kind of end up in this town where you have to contribute to the town. And they have something called a life, which is essentially...
Which not many of us have.
Yeah, we don't. But these guys do, and they're hardcore about it. Everyone has to have a life. The king is like, oh, you have to have a life. And you get pretty much just different roles in the village or your kingdom that you get to encompass, I guess.
Right.
So I'm an alchemist, and this is one job out of, I want to say like 12 or something. Probably even more than that. I wouldn't say it's like 15. There's a lot. Just to run through them, you can be a mercenary, you can be a paladin, a tailor, a blacksmith, a lumberjack, a miner, a fisher, and then you can be an alchemist, and there's a hunter. There's a lot. There's a lot of them.
Dopey and bashful. And,
sleepy.
Which is interesting because I'm not going to let you talk at all, Kyle. You're literally there for set dressing.
Yeah.
Like your opinion is totally invalid in this conversation.
Good set dressing.
But what's interesting to me is that they have those in MMOs, but there's a clear divide between the tailor and the blacksmith. That's what you do when you're bored back in town to fix stuff. Whereas your action roles, or your rogue, your tank, your mage or whatever. But it sounds like you can kick ass as an alchemist or a tailor. How does a tailor kick ass? Just throws push pins at people or what?
No, I mean there's certain things that you get, like items and skills that everyone gets. Everyone starts off with a dagger. You can have light armor on, and depending on what job you are, so if you're like a blacksmith, then you can have heavier class armors and stronger weapons that you can't use as being an alchemist. You just kind of have that stereotypical image of being like mousy and kind of skinny. Well, that's essentially what you are. You're very rogue-like at that point, and you get sneaking and dashing and things like that you can build up. So you're always an adventurer, first and foremost. But you take that job, and that's the one thing that you do until you master it, and then you can get another job. So it allows for multiple jobs. The one thing that I'm running into right now is that I played quite a bit of it, actually pretty obsessively, because I really like that game. As an alchemist, I've been like building potions and bombs and things like that. The one thing is it takes a long time to build up to that point and then get another job. So you'll start running into all of these things like trees, like mythical trees that you can cut down and sell for bounties, and it makes you a lot of materials so that you can create more potions and things like that you can't access because it's its own job.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting thing. Like, it encourages you to play with other people. So you should never have to pick the same job as your friend, because I can help you out. I can knock that tree down, and then you can, like, if you're like
I
a
make
tailor,
a potion, and then
you can make a sweet
in your
potion.
like Animal Crossing, like I go to your town.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
multiplayer element to it, which is
Online.
yeah, it's
I think it's at least local.
Okay.
It's
Is it
local and
online?
online.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I think, but with your friend, obviously.
Yeah.
And the way that it works is that there's a chest in all of the guild offices that allows your friend to throw in an item, and you can throw in an item, and then you just trade through that. So to have a lot of friends that have a lot of different jobs allows you that convenience to, switch and essentially make your job easier, because you have a lot of challenges that you have to complete to level up in that particular job. And it's almost impossible to do without the help of other people in early game. With being able to play with your friends, then it allows you to open up the world in a much broader way.
Kyle, I really liked Bravely Default. I'm not going to make a direct comparison because these sound like different games, turn-based versus action.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bravely Default has I'm assuming way more depth, even though you're supposed to replay the game multiple times just to kind of extend the lifespan of it. Is this game as big as Fantasy, or is Fantasy Life as big as something like Bravely Default? Is it even trying to be?
I think it's gonna scratch the Animal Crossing itch more than the Bravely Default itch.
Because I felt that itch before.
Yeah.
It's Rune Factory. If you guys have ever played Rune Factory before, well, okay, it's Harvest Moon, but with action in it, which is Rune Factory.
Which Harvest Moon needs, I think. I think that's something that maybe
Yeah.
that franchise could do
Yeah.
to be a little more relevant.
You
which
go in
is Rune
caves.
Factory. It's
Right.
from the same developer.
Yeah, you go in caves, you kill things, you get loot.
Yeah, and then you use it and you create it, and they just
Yeah.
pretty much kind of made an OCD version of that. So this game has a lot of whimsy. I've been playing this game, and I'm just totally down being in that kingdom. There's just something about it. They're very tongue-in-cheek. Everything is a joke. They're all kind of self-aware that everyone's kind of an asshole. They're very cheeky and sarcastic with each other all the time. And I really love that. They never take anything seriously. There's this whole world destroying magic that's happening, and the world is going to end. And they're just kind of yeah, sure, okay, I guess we better do something about it, and no one takes it seriously. And it's a fun game. It's super upbeat, super cheery. And
So you mentioned you can switch to
experience.
another job. You can't do it right away though. You have to get your first job up to a certain level and then you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
switch over, which is typical. MMOs do that.
Yeah.
Is it conceivable to have every job, or do you really kind of have to pick a handful and then just shoot for that?
It's conceivable to have every job.
But
You
you're
can
a
have every
maniac.
job.
You're a maniac at that point.
Yeah, you have to play it just constantly, and you have to beat every challenge.
Yeah, I think it's against the idea of the game, really. I think it wants you to be friends with just oh, sure, I'll be the hunter and you be the fisher, you be the tailor. You know what I mean? I think it kind of wants you to do
But it's
that.
not like I've read through the game as an alchemist and then I switch over to a tailor, or I switch over to a paladin. It's well, I can't go back to that zone because I've killed everything or already beaten that boss. You can keep going back to areas. Can you keep doing quests? Are there repeatable quests or any activities that you can just kind of farm to level up your class?
The bounties are the things that you can just farm constantly. All the resources appear again. All the monsters respawn. People have requests that allow you to get money, and all of the mats sort of change up. So there's always something to do. And you know how you're not able to access certain things in the beginning, you can't chop down trees, you can't fish if you're not an angler, you can't mine if you're not a miner. So those are all things that are blocked off to you until you get those jobs. So then it becomes, when you get that job, you now have a new sort of gameplay experience that you get to deal with.
So you're an alchemist. What's your you're a sneezer.
I'm a sneezer. Oh, excuse me.
Forceful.
So I haven't played it. I don't have it.
Why the hell are you here, Kyle?
Oh, they showed it to me at PAX. I got
Okay.
to it was one of those behind closed doors. Here it is. Here's Fantasy Life. But I like it. I would want to be one of the classes that isn't cool. So probably tailor, or
Chef. You can be a chef. too.
chef.
You can cook.
Yes. Chef would probably be it. That is so cool. And
Well, but it's also nice too, because if you have friends, it's fun to be that unpredictable class. It's fun
Exactly,
to have
yeah.
that one ability or that one thing to help out your friends. Because it's oh, thanks. When I played Warcraft, I was, I invested time in being the cook for the party. So before we go on raids, I'd put a fish platter out and everybody would munch on it before we jump in, get a stat
Remember
bonus.
those days?
And it was cool, to be
Yeah.
that person where it was just oh, what's the,
He has the mage table.
and it was
awesome mage
there was
table guy.
there was the one there was Fish Feast was the thing you made when I was doing Lich King. That was the go-to thing for that level. But if I could pick 4 or 5 different things or spice it up each time,
Yeah.
I would have I would have eaten that up, pun intended.
And even like the cooking things, it's its own like little challenge and things, and you could do a good job or you could do a bad job and stuff like that.
All the jobs
that
have
affects
like
the bonus of the food you get, or
Right.
something? Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They have it
no,
for
I might have
potions
to play
too.
this.
Yeah, it's all they have like mini games for your jobs. So cutting down trees is a totally different thing. Making potions is if you do it correctly, and it's all timed, sort of like sequenced mini games. And if you do it right, you get to make a superior version of that, and then you sell it for more money.
Is the one solitary 16th of the game where you get to cook better than the entirety of Cooking Mama 5?
Probably. I'm gonna say yes.
Did you go to Alchemist because that's kind of your bread and butter in RPGs, or did
No,
that class just kind of
that's
entice
just-
you in this game?
That's just sort
specifically?
of like a really unique class for me. Like I don't remember being able to be an alchemist in anything. Well, except
again,
for it's like a subclass.
in MMOs, yeah, it was or like a hobby or like a job. Sometimes they'll call it like this is your class and then this is your job.
And then people just make like potions and poisons and things like that. But in this game, you make bombs, and that's what I mean. They make an emphasis like the dude, the professor. The first thing he says is kaboom, and he like explodes stuff. So I was really interested in that. And then you build the bombs, and then you can actually use it in action.
So if I'm a paladin, I can use a bomb. I just can't make them.
Exactly. You can buy a bomb, but you wouldn't be able
Are
to.
there any bombs that are just limited to alchemists, or is
Just making them. I don't know about
oh,
living.
but you can use whatever?
Yeah, you can make all of them, and they have sleep and poison. And
Are they
things
level
like that.
specific? Can I like power level? Because I have a friend who's like beat the game and is a master alchemist, and I'm just starting out, and he like slips me some cool items that I can drop in battle really early on. Or
Yeah, you can use it whenever. So yeah, but once again, someone has to make it.
right.
But he
So
knows
you-
a guy.
No,
Brandon
you're,
knows
you're
a guy.
making us bombs.
Yeah,
is kind of where I'm
he
getting
knows a
at.
guy.
Yeah. Did it meet your expectations? Was this something? Was this?
I had
like
no
something that's really on your
expectations for
radar?
this game. I just looked at the cover and I was like, oh, that's cool. Level 5 made it, and I really like level 5. And then Mono did like a little special drawing for it, which is like the main thing. And it's like Amano never really makes those like kind of cute chibi looking things.
Yeah.
And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And Amano plus level 5, I know what I'm getting. I was like, it's probably good. So I tried it and it was great.
We are referring to Yoshitaka Amano, who does all the Final Fantasy
All
art.
Final Fantasy art, the fancy.
The
Ooh.
original.
Who draws like
yeah.
80 billion strands of hair for like every
Exactly.
character that he produces.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, having very simple looking characters. That's funny. It's something that won't really sell really well in America, or won't really like, oh my god, I'm buying that for Amano's art. But like in Japan, potentially, that's something people could get really excited about.
I mean, I recognized it because I'm a fan of Amano and Final Fantasy, and kind of it definitely has that element of it's not just grounded, like they're not just like getting cattle or whatever. It's orcs and golems and things like that, and bandits, fantasy
can get a
all
corgi.
around. You can get a corgi. I have a
Done.
I don't know if you can get a corgi. I have a Shiba Inu, which is like the best dog ever. But yeah, so it's great play.
So you're gonna get this, Kyle? That's something that
I
gonna
like
check
it.
out?
I don't know. It's coming out in a rough month. It's coming up real close to Pokemon.
Yeah.
but it's not going anywhere.
You're right.
I mean, you're not currently playing Smash Brothers. That's
Right.
not really
Are
taking
you
up
saying
too
you
much
want a
of your time.
chef? Are you asking me to be your chef?
Well, if you're a chef, what would you? If you could pick me to play, okay, so Kyle's gonna be chef.
Yeah.
You're the alchemist.
I would make you a blacksmith. I would force you to be a blacksmith.
So to
'cause
make
we
us
need
sweet
people
weapons?
to and armor, sweet weapons
Cool.
and armor. That's what
Ooh,
we
it's
need.
interesting. There's
Yeah.
not like an armor smith and a weaponsmith.
Yeah, you're a blacksmith and you can make both of them.
How does it look? How does it play? I mean, is it the systems are fun, but the gameplay's like whatever, but it's just fun because there's so much variety, or is it actually like fun to run around and smack stuff?
I like the environment. It's kind of
It's isometric, right? It's top. It's like linked
it's
to the,
yeah, it's
linked
kind
to
of
the
like
past.
top down. It's very. I would have to say what's a one button basher. I don't have any magic skills right now, and I haven't picked a wizard class, so I don't know how spells work exactly. But like, there's different ways. Like what you can do is you can charge and hit, and then you can kind of like hit, and then back up. So there's always there's kind of a dodging element to it, but it's still you're just bashing one button.
Can you carry skills over into another class? So if I level up paladin and then switch to cook, am I just like completely starting at level 1, or do I have like a heal that I carry over or something?
Well, the whole
or-
thing is they're separated, so all of your action skills are leveling up. So dashing and dagger skill, those things will just build up by itself. So even if you do change a job,
Cool.
you won't lose those levels.
If I'm out in the field, like, do I have to go back to town to become a paladin, then head back out again, or like?
No, what you can do is you can just look in your licenses, and I believe you can just switch it by clicking the license button. So it's like a little license window that allows you to just pick different jobs,
You go
and
through
it also
all-
see you see
pull
all
out
your
that license.
recipes and challenges and yeah, pretty much. Take
'Cause
out a
that-
badge.
Because that's always the like the confusing part as far as realism goes with like any class system. It's kind of silly that like you're this amazing warrior with all these abilities, and then you like put on a chef's hat, and it's like, I forgot everything. You like give me a giant sword, like I have no idea what to do with this. Can't you see the hat I'm wearing? You know.
That was in the past. This
So
is
again, if
new
it's a
me.
cutesy game, it's kind of fun that some people are like, this game isn't cutesy at all. It's a very serious RPG.
Yeah.
How much time is one expected to put into this? Like you were saying, you're kind of a maniac if you pick all stuff. But is there like, can I not go to another class? Can I just level up blacksmith and just take that all the way to the end boss? Is there an end boss? Like when do you stop?
I don't know. I haven't found an ending. I've just been playing it, and I feel like I've been playing it forever, and I've enjoyed it. But I don't know. I don't really see an end in sight soon. And I think because there are so many jobs that you can master, there are different things called bliss, and those bliss challenges allow like different things to open. So you can get pets and you can get mounts and things like that, new items in the shops, and that has challenges to master every single job that you have. So you can do it. You can do all of those challenges, which means that you can unlock all of those jobs, which means you'll be playing that game until the end of time. So
End of time.
end of
Does that
time,
answer-
and
does that
a
answer your
long,
question?
long, long time, I think.
I felt the TV commercial sold this game very accurately. You know, it just seemed kind of like a fun experience. You know, where you can go in and try out these different classes, and
That's exactly
it
it.
seemed very genuine.
Just a bunch of people smiling and laughing, just loving life, and you get to love life too.
But there's dangerous magic that could possibly kill everyone.
Yes, there's that, but no one seems to want to address it really, and it's really easy to defeat. So whatever.
We got this.
So are we getting it? Are we going to do another? We're going to do an update to let people know the adventures of Kyle the cook and Brandon
yeah.
the
I'll do it.
blacksmith.
I think
Fury
it's
and
kind
I'm
of
in.
it'd
Fury
be
and
a
I'm
cool
in.
adventure. It would be a cool adventure for all of us.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, they're all equal. So like even if you do paladin class or blacksmith, like they still kind of play the same
You still
way.
have
It's
to
not-
you still have to level up. I think Paladin is more action oriented, so it really depends on what you like doing. I like to make things explode, so that's my deal.
And you like to eat stuff,
I kind of, yeah.
and I apparently like to smolder stuff and.
I
bang
don't
on
like
it.
to eat stuff. I'm not a cook in real life, but like this is fantasy life. This is what you want. Like
And no game's ever been called Fantasy Life, man. That's wild. That seems like a name that somebody would have picked up. So, well, damn. I don't have time to play games, Max. I don't need more games.
I
That's the
know.
danger of this show. It's like, oh no.
this sounds cool.
Oh, I got to play this. Thanks, Max. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.